everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jenny, and this is Creating Crafts with Jenny. And the other day, this is my third video in regards to Dollar Tree Pick by Numbers. The first one I did was, I'll put a link down below. The paints were all dried up. And then I clicked on the QR code. There was a QR code on the little pamphlet. And I'm suspecting that the paint by numbers are very old. I think they're a couple years old. Because in the videos that were on YouTube, they were showing painting some of these paintings like a couple years ago. So they could be 3 or 4 years old, possibly. I did reach out to the company. I'm still waiting to see if they reach back out to me and say, hey, I'm sorry, that sort of thing. We've got some new products. You might want to try these out, that sort of thing. We'll see. So what I did was, I will show some shots probably over here because this looks like a good spot, where I took Story paints, and I believe I bought these off Timu. I'm pretty sure I did. And it's one of my top videos, and I will link that one also of me doing some mixing. I did a paint pour with these paints, I think about a year ago. So these paints have been sitting for a little while. And I did it on one of their canvases to show how well their Timu paints would pour on their canvases, that sort of thing. I'll link that video down below also. Because what I wanted to do was take 36 paints, range of paints, to see if I could replace, I think this one had 12 paints colors in it, I think. About 12 colors of paints in this pick my number, and replace it with something that I picked, or something similar to the color range. And mine are similar, and I'll show a picture. Here's mine, and then here's kind of a picture of theirs. I'll show some good pictures of these too. I will say, the canvas was really rough. I mean, it's got almost like a grit to it when I was trying to put the paint on. And these paints are really good, because on one of my Timu paintings that I'm working on, and I can show you a picture of that one also, I accidentally left one of the pot open, and it completely dried out. So I had to replace that color, and I picked one of those colors, one of the yellows, and it was like an exact match. I was very, very, very lucky that I didn't have to mix up a color to replace. I mean, it was completely dried out, and that was my fault. I don't know if the pod popped open or I left it open, but it was left open for like an entire weekend sort of thing. It was completely dried up. And it goes down on the canvas like a dream. So I knew that going into using these paints, this Story paints, and I'll show a picture of the box or whatever so you guys can, if you want to order them. I've seen them on Amazon and Timu, both places. They're very good paints. So I knew that putting them on another paint by number was going to be a good thing. However, this canvas was very gritty to work with. It reminds me of some of the first paint by numbers that I did when I was reintroduced to paint by numbers, say 10 years ago. When I started to get interested in paint by numbers, and I was just ordering from here and there and everywhere. And then I occasionally would get a canvas and I'd be like, what in the world? You know, that sort of thing. Because not all canvases are created equally. They are not. So sometimes you get these canvases that are really gritty, and that's where you come across people that use like the gesso and that sort of thing, because they want to get that grit off there. They want that canvas to be smooth and fill in. It's kind of like when, this is more towards women and some men, when before you put makeup on, you want to do a pore filling, and you put it on underneath foundation. So you're wanting to fill in the pores before you put your foundation on. That's kind of like what gesso and things like that does on a canvas. It fills in before you paint, that sort of thing. So the paint goes on smoothly and not so rough. Because I'm looking at the paint, and I did try to, I went over a couple coats. I didn't just keep putting coats and putting on the coats. I think it looks cute. There's still some white spots because it's so gritty. I mean, I could probably put 5 or 6 coats on, and once it dried, I'd probably still have white spots that coming through. But I think from a distance, I think it's a cute painting. And I will show a picture of it probably up here somewhere. And I'll put it with the smartest app I know. So I will actually put it with furniture and that sort of thing. So it'll look cute. So there you have it. Would I do it on a larger scale where it has 24 colors? I might. I've got so many that are waiting for me to do that I don't know that I need to go there right now. But in the future, will I do something like that? I most likely will. I've got some paint by numbers that are sitting here that are really old, and I know that their paints are probably completely dried up. I just know that they are. And the canvases need treated. So I have them. I just don't know that I want to do them right now when I have like Paintly kits laying here, and I've got House Paints UK sitting here looking at me like, well, why don't you just pick me up and paint me, right? I know. So there's that. All right, so I will show some video of me mixing the paints. It was kind of messy. So I will show a little bit of that. I'm not going to show the entire video of me mixing that paint, but I will show a little bit of it. So here you go. So I hope you enjoyed some of that video. I may just kind of put it up here and just, I'm not quite sure what I'll do with the editing of it, so I don't know. But anyway, so there was some video of that. All right, so I'm going to get off here, and I have some dinner plans this afternoon, this evening. So what do I always tell you guys? Go out there. Be absolutely awesome. Do your thing, and I'll see you in my next video. Talk to you soon. Bye.